This video is made for adult collectors because I don't feel so great. So if I mess up on one or two modes, it's because I'm slightly sick. 1 mode. 2 modes. 3 modes. 4 modes. 6 modes. That's a lot. 10. Friggin' 10. So you know a Transformer. It has 2 modes, a robot in a vehicle, or a robot in an animal, or a robot in an out-of-date media player. Then there are triple changers, there are 6 changers. So the only way up, I guess, is to go 10 fucking modes. 10? That's a lot. Now, one thing to be said is this toy right here. Wait, first, this is Megatron from Robots in Disguise 2001. Okay, back to what I was saying. This toy is the Megatron version, and it's technically the Galvatron version of this toy that has 10 modes. Megatron has 6. However, when Hasbro got the mold for Gigatron, the Japanese counterpart to this, they used the Galvatron tooling for Megatron, so it has the tabs necessary to do all 10 modes, even though this is Megatron. So I will be doing all 10 modes in this video because it feels like a waste to not talk about them. I also got this at my local shop, Comic Alley Toys, not sponsored, for like, what, 40 bucks, I think, complete. He looks interesting. Not something you think when you think about Megatron, but it has such bad guy design. I love it. There's so much color separation on this thing. I love where it puts the purple and the black with the bits of gold and red, though the chest colors feel a little bit out of place in the color scheme because it's just like nowhere else. But it's still nice. There is lots of chrome here, and a lot of it is chipping because haha, old toy, but it still looks really neat. And this Megatron commands a presence, like the wings and the bulky bodybuilder look with the bat-like head and the claws on the arms. He's a bit wibbly in the hips. One of the ratchets has kind of given up a tad, but even the leg with okay ratchets still feel a bit off. And the torso arms, oh man, the torso arms. They love moving around and just straight up popping off. The ball joints are a bit too shallow, so they come off if you press on it slightly wrong or if you move it at the wrong angle. He comes with 2 missile firing sword things that can combine into like a Darth Maul configuration, which is neat. What's really funny is I know this is the bad guy from RID2001, but I only saw maybe like 10 episodes of that show until very recently. But I did read Spotlight Drift comics, where this guy is heavily featured, and now I really want an IDW Drift toy to go with this, like a new one, please. Now, for being a toy from all the way back in 2001, he is very poseable. Now, as 2001 toys go, he's got quite the amount of articulation. However, some of it's a little bit detrimental to the figure. So, to start with, the head can rotate left and right. These ears don't have a stopping point naturally, so they just kind of move. The wings can flap forward and back. There's a secondary joint at the top here as well, and then you can flare them out. These shoulders, they're ratcheted. They can go in and out. The shoulder pad moves with it. You have bicep rotation. Single jointed elbow that bends slightly under 90 degrees. You do have a wrist swivel. Nothing at the waist due to the hand claw mechanism, which is fine. Hips, they go forward, then go back, then go in and out. You have your thigh rotation. Single jointed knee that bends that far, but if you want to, you can utilize the transformation joint to give him a double jointed knee. And then the ankles can go down, they can go up, and he has ankle tilt and foot rotation. And this is where the detrimental thing happens, because there's a large cut out the back here for the neck, so that like in dragon mode he can look down, and sometimes he'll just fall backwards. It also doesn't help that his feet don't sit flat because they're supposed to be mouths, so like there's a bit of a chunk in the middle of them and they have to sit like at an angle slightly. So standing him up can be a bit of a pain, especially considering he is back heavy, and so those little cuts in the ankles just do that a lot. It's not fun. So let's get on to the transformation show. All the different modes, and again, this is the American release, but it has all the bits you need to do the Galvatron modes. So let's start with Gargoyle Bat whatever thing. So because there's so many modes and so many things, and like this toy is weird when it comes to its transformation, I've got the Galvatron instructions here, and I'm just gonna keep them off to the side so that if I mess up, I know exactly what I'm doing. So we're gonna do Gargoyle mode first, which I believe I remember how to do entirely. So to start with, I'm going to open this up, and then you want to get your finger in here and just sort of pull out the gargoyle mouth, which is easier said than done. Ow, my nail. Oh, there it is. We got the mouth out. We're gonna fold this down and then extend this, fold this down on either side, straighten out the arms, take the vestigial arms here and just sort of bring them out and around. Watch, this one will fall off. Yep, there it goes. Get those situated there. Make sure that's folded flat to the back. Bring this up, rotate the foot 90 degrees, fold it up to the back. Do the same with the other foot. Doesn't actually peg in anywhere. Needs more tabs. Oi! And then we're gonna flare out the wings and then hope it stands. It doesn't like standing properly. We're gonna take the guns, plug them in back here and here, and fold these out. And there you have the Gargoyle. So Gargoyle mode looks like a cross between a bat and a gargoyle. And one of the common things about this toy is it's gonna look like Megatron folded into a thing that they're gonna call something else. Because you can clearly see all of the Megatron bits still hanging out here. But that doesn't mean it doesn't look cool. The chaotic nature of the color placement makes this look more uniform because it's all over the place. So on first glance, you can't really see what is arms, what is legs, and so on, if that makes sense. That's not true for all of the modes, but for most of them. Mine does have a loose this bit, so getting him to stand can be a tad annoying, but this is neat. It doesn't do much, so let's get on to my favorite mode, which I'm calling Gedora mode. All right, this next mode is really, really nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to unplug these cannon bits from the back. We're gonna zoom out all the way. Then we're going to bring the legs down. Come on. There we are. I don't like these ratchets. Then we're going to bring this section down. That's going to unpeg this, and we fold this up and peg it into the back up here. And rotate the legs around 180 degrees. So bring down the arms, rotate them. Nope. Rotate them at the bicep, not at the compression joint. Fold these ear flaps in, open this section up, fold the mouth in, compress the head, close that back up. This will peg into the bottom there. And then we're just gonna, actually no, we're not gonna rotate that. We are going to unpeg this and rotate it, and it in turn is gonna unpeg the tail because the tail doesn't like to stay tabbed in. It's very fun, I love it. There we go. Bring the legs forward, just like that, get them standing. Keep the vestigial arms there. Then with the heads, we're gonna rotate them 90 degrees and then fold these ear flaps up. I'm gonna compress the wings and just bring them back for now. That's compressing. But there you have Gedora mode. It's only 2 heads, but like it looks like Gedora. This leg will not stay. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. Now he's standing. Yay. Gedora is my favorite Godzilla kaiju, and while this only has 2 heads, it's still really cool. Utilizing the feet and the legs as the heads and the necks, similar to Hunger, is such a neat trick. The tail is necessary for stability, like this thing just can't stand without it. And the wings do get in the way of moving the neck sometimes because of the knee fins, but it just looks so cool and does get bigger because like he's doing a handstand now with his legs out, so this is taller than the base robot. But this does turn into more than just animals. All right, jet mode transformation is where I'm going to need to be looking at these instructions. So to start with, we're going to fold the vestigial, okay. All right, we're going to take this, fold this down, and then rotate the arms back in to place and leave them there. We're going to take the wings and extend them out, fold these up, rotate the feet 180 degrees, rotate the thigh swivels 180 degrees, and then just bring them up and they'll sit at the back here. I really wish they had like dedicated pegs. There are no dedicated pegs, so you have to line everything up, and because the ratchets on mine are slightly shot in a couple areas, lining them up can be a little bit frustrating where like that's the best I can do. But as you can see, that's like, it's just because this hip is busted. And bring the arms back. Bring them back on, but all the arms come up. Close the chest back up. Bring this around, and these will just sort of sit back here. And there you have he's sitting in like a bow-ish. Come on. There we are, there's the jet mode. Jet mode looks cool, but it's another one of those instances of it needed way more tabs to stay together. A lot of it is just, oh, put the legs here, I guess, and oh, put the arms here, I guess. But it looks striking with the backwards wings and the dragon-looking cockpit section, and the car wheels become the landing gear, which is nice. I like the double stack tail fins on top. I just wish the legs could be seated better, but he does have wheels, so yeah, that means car. Okay, car time. I need to remember how to do this now too. Thankfully the instructions are still here. So we're gonna fold the landing gear up, and I need to look at the instructions. Right, okay, the legs. Just gonna get them out of the way. Bring the wings forward, peg them in, and then fold these sections down. And then that's gonna, put that there. We're gonna rotate this around 180 degrees, rotate that 180 degrees, bend the elbow. Then this section here will collapse in. No, not back to robot mode. You want to double hinge it. Oh, come on. There's your car of sorts. That's really wonky, like really wonky. It sits weird, it feels weird. There are tabs this time, which is good, but like that's just at the back. I like where the wings go. It's very Batmobile-esque, but I don't have him in this mode much, to be honest. It's just a strange one. Speaking of strange, this can become a hand. Okay, let's make him a hand. Oh boy. So spread the wings out. Ow. Clip your own fingers in the process, I guess. Flip them over. We're going to extend the legs back up and just rotate them this way. Back up and rotate them that way. Bring this section down and then rotate the arm bits out on either side. And just have that sit there as fingies. And then you're going to bring this section up. Bend the fingers. And then flip this piece out here. And that's, camera's too low. And that's your hand. That's supposed to be a hand. That's a hand. It can pincer if you want to. Mine's super loose, so it doesn't work very well for me. So that's 6 of the modes of the original Megatron, but as Galvatron, it can do more. And this being the American Bits, as I said, it has all the parts to do that. So let's get some Galvatron modes in. Now let's move on to probably what is the most coherent of the modes, the Griffin mode. So bring this down, slide it into place. Why won't you slide into place? There we go. Clip that in. Peg that back in there. Just get those wings folded out. Fold that down and around. Then we're going to open the chest up. Bring up the arms. Close this section up. Rotate these legs around. Unfold out the robot feet. Then we're going to bend the knees. And then you bring this section down. Rotate it. Fold up the foot. Section down. Rotate it. Bring up the foot. And then basically just stop doing that. Stand him up. Bring the wings up ever so slightly. I'm going to fold them in for now. These claws back out. And that's Griffin mode. That looks way more coherent and cool. Love the pointy head with the way the front legs are done. Back legs are very clearly the robots, but backwards. Now, this has 2 dragon modes, and they are very different from each other, which is actually kind of neat. We saw Gedora mode, so let's get this guy into what the manual just calls winged dragon mode. My instruction machine, aka my laptop, just died, but going into winged dragon mode is basically just gargoyle mode, but with a new neck. So I'm just gonna quickly... So basically you get it into gargoyle mode, but now the legs are actually going to move and go around on this side. If the fucking arms wouldn't get in the way. Rotate these around. This toy's frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it. I don't like messing with it. I mean, I like it. It's just, this is such a hassle all the time. And then you peg the neck in to place, and then you rotate that down. And there you have winged dragon mode. It's very unfortunate that winged dragon mode just has a penis. Anyways, this is completely different from the dragon with 2 heads, and I like that. It feels more Bat Dracula-like, which is neat, and it stands pretty good, better than gargoyle mode. But then we get onto my second favorite mode, and the mode that is so incredibly useless, like hand mode, elephant mode. All right, time to make the elephant mode. So to start with, it's basically like going back into Griffin mode, kind of. So here's the Griffin, and then we're gonna unpeg this chest piece here. Bring these sections back on both sides. Peg this back together. Rotate the biceps 90 degrees. And then just bring them forward a little bit so that, you know, it can sit flat. Like, sit flat. It can sit flat like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the wings up and double hinge them forward. And this is like the retooling, as far as I'm aware, that they did to this mold to allow it to be, rip the ball joint off, to allow it to be elephant mode. And then, I know I haven't really been showing the gun storage that much in all the other modes because I couldn't be bothered. But in this mode, they're kind of important because they become the elephant tusks. Elephant tusks. That's an elephant from the front. From the back, though, it's just the Griffin again, but it looks neat. I love how the cockpit and the wings become the trunk and the ears. That's super clever. And how they push the front legs back. Now, there's one more mode in the instructions, and it's lame. Okay, so going to boat is kind of like going to car, but not really. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the instructions and unclip it somehow. Hello? There we go. Rip it off the ball joint, I guess, to do that. These legs, you rotate them 90 degrees. Bring out the... Oh, for fuck's sake. You're going to bring this around. You're going to compress this back in. And these will sort of sit there. I'm looking at a really dim picture because my laptop is about to die, but like, let's have a look. No, that's boat mode. Or what is mostly boat mode. Oh, I couldn't be bothered. That's apparently a boat. Now, the designers did fan mode in 11th mode because it needed more, and it's a stork mode. I'll just show a picture of it here on the screen because I am not feeling the greatest, I guess, stomach bug, and I don't really want to sit here for longer to film this. At the end, that's a lot of transforming, and yeah, it needed more tabs for sure, even for just the Megatron modes. I like it, and for the 40 bucks I paid, it's pretty good, but I do hope we get a new one because that would make it clip together so much better, and it'd be a much nicer play experience, and it would probably be bigger. So like, I would love a new one. But that's my look at RID2001 Megatron. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.